Hey moms, today on Wire Talk, we're going to be talking about all things boys. Today is a boy-focused podcast. We're going to talk about boys that are coming back home from college for the summer and holidays. We're going to be talking about boys that have bad attitudes, that have sensitivity issues, negative issues, and also that are not being nice to their moms. So let's dive in and talk about boys.
Well, hello, moms, and welcome to Wire Talk. Today we're tackling boys. Questions that these boys are all over the place. The questions from these moms are really, really good. But before we get started answering all these questions, are there any nuggets of wisdom bombs that you would like to drop on the subject of parenting boys in general before we get started?
Oh, just a little wisdom. Just a little bit nugget, wisdom. And we'll just go. And
basically,
just solve the world's problems right here, right now. No pressure.
I think you can do it.
That's what I'm hearing you say.
Ready.
Ooh, boys are difficult.
These moms that with boys moms are like, oh my goodness, Karen's going to give it to me. So let's hear what you got. Oh, anything you see moms consistently getting tripped up by boys too? Well, the energy of boys is off the charts.
It's crazy. It is. It's like your dad used to tell me, why did you let him do that? And I'm like, the girls would have never done that. So that wasn't even on my radar that Taylor would have done such a thing. Also, their frontal lobe is not fully developed. They're saying now till 25 even. It used to be 22, but now it's 25 to 30. And it's true. I mean, you know, I'd say, Taylor, why'd you do that? I don't know. I just thought that would be smart to do. But anyways, just lots of prayer where boys are concerned. Well, girls too, but boys are just blessed. I loved having a boy, truly. And honestly, I prayed Abby would be a girl because I just told Greg, I feel like we have the perfect son in Taylor. He's just all boy. And I just loved him so much. I just thought another boy's going to mess it up. But obviously that was silly thinking.
And he is your favorite son.
He loves to say that. He loves to say he's my favorite son. But he is my favorite son because he's my only son. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Well, before we get started, if y'all didn't know that we just celebrated a big birthday for Birds on a Wire.
Oh.
It was Mom's birthday just 4 days ago.
Yes, and it was my last birthday.
She was turning 21. Yeah. I can't believe it.
My last birthday in my 50s. I was 59 years old.
Man.
I know.
Can't wait to. We're recording this before your birthday.
Yes.
So I can't wait to actually celebrate it on your birthday.
I know. I'm looking forward to it. You know me, I love birthdays.
I know you do.
I love me a good birthday. And Greg always teases me and says, you celebrate your birthday all month long.
You should.
And I'm like, duh. Yeah. Is there any other way?
Right?
If I could milk it into September, November,
you probably
trust
would.
me, I would.
Well, the good thing about our family being a little bit big is
just a little bit
big is most of the times, like, you know, we're not all together at the same time. Mm-hmm. So we'll celebrate it. You'll celebrate with mom and dad.
That's right.
Or not mom, you'll celebrate it with dad.
Yeah.
Then you'll celebrate it with the kids. And then you'll go out with your best friends.
That's
Debbie
right.
and Al.
Gotta do it all.
And then you'll probably celebrate with your sisters.
That's right.
So, I mean, and then you'll probably celebrate it with the grandkids.
Duh.
I mean, let's just do it up.
It's just all about celebration.
Celebrate good times. Come on.
Me. Y'all, I had the best dream last night. Speaking of celebrating.
I love it.
I know this is so random, but this is reminding me. I love gifts.
Yes.
And I dreamed that somebody, I don't even know who it was, but they just gave me this gift. And it was so wonderful. And it was like a gift inside a gift inside a gift inside a gift. And I remember in my dream, I was just getting so excited. This is like 5 gifts in one.
What's happening?
I was just so excited. And I don't even remember what the gift was. A purse of some sort was part of it.
Oh.
Yeah, but something was inside the purse, which is inside and inside. It was fabulous.
Oh, that sounds great.
And I woke up, I was in the best mood.
Just as a dream of somebody giving you a gift. It was just a dream,
and I don't even know who it was. But it was so fun.
That's so fun. So maybe you want a purse this year.
No, I really don't. But just thought it was so.
I love it.
I was just like, this is such a random dream, but I'm loving it. But we better talk about boys, Emily.
Boys. Yeah. Okay.
Boys don't like purses. So let's talk about boys.
Let's talk about boys. All right.
They may like purses. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're not, no purses today.
No purses today.
No, I don't, it's random.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's dive in.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We need to get focused.
We're getting way off course.
Yes. All
I'm
right.
getting way off course.
Question 1.
Emily's like,
Let's do it. All right. Also, this mom said the age and the color of their son with like a little heart emoji. I love it. Okay.
Yes.
Question 1. We have 4 boys. Red 21, blue 19, green 16, and yellow 12.
She's got all the colors of the rainbow.
I feel like I just called out some football things.
That's hilarious.
Okay, anyways, I'm so sorry. The older 2 ones are away at college most of the year. When they come home for summer, the first few weeks are great. But a month and a half in, I'm tired of their laziness and the way they disrupt our routine. When they come home, we only have a few rules we ask them to follow. We ask them to help with light chores, trash, light yard work, etc. And things like do your own dishes, don't make fun of your little brothers, or incessantly badgering them, put your laundry that I wash away, and lastly, put a shirt on at the dinner table.
That's not asking much.
Not much. As you can imagine, when they're home, our grocery bill doubles, the electricity goes up, partly because they want the AC ridiculously low. My brother was the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And they use the family car. 9 months out of the year, we are used to having our peaceful green and our fun yellow round. But when the older 2 come home, after getting their meals made for them, cranking down the AC and basically doing whatever they want, they find it hard to be honorable and respectful to the rules that we want to keep in our house. Are our expectations realistic? What is one practical thing that my husband and I can do to prepare for them coming home and be more pleasant and productive member of our household?
All right, let's just dive in. This is a lot to go over. But honestly, when my kids were in college, when you guys were in college, I did slack up on the rules. I did hold fast to the curfew just because I wanted to go to bed. That was a selfish rule on my end. And you can be testimony that I did
100%.
Yeah, stick to the curfew. But I did slack up. I mean, y'all were in college, and especially Taylor, I even slacked up more with him than I did the girls, to be honest. He had a little bit later curfew, and I just didn't worry about him as much as I did y'all being out by yourselves. But I would encourage strongly that the boys get a job. Taylor always had a job in the summer, and then whenever he came home at night, he was tired. He worked construction. That was his major, building science. So he worked for like a renovations company, and he was tired. He'd been in the sun all day. He was tired, and so he would go to sleep fairly early. And if he's not home during the day, they're not got the AC cranked up. And as far as the boys aggravating each other incessantly, that's just boys. That's that energy we're talking about. Honestly, that roughhousing and aggravating, that's the way they show love a lot of the times. That's that physicalness that they show love. I don't get it, but that's the way they are. And one summer Taylor didn't have a job, and Greg was, he wasn't in college, he was in high school, but he was complaining to Greg and I about, y'all got to babysit, and it was easy money for you, and there wasn't anything easy he could do. He had to mow grass, and it was physical, and he was basically whining. And Greg just said, "Hey, man up. You're a man." And, and Taylor was like, "It's not fair." And Greg's like, "Life's not fair, dude. And you're a man, so get used to it and buck up and get on with it." And I was just sitting there going, whoa. But, Taylor accepted that and he took it. So my one suggestion is to have the husband sort of speak up and say, knock it off. Unless you're going to be putting some money towards the electricity bill and things like that, hush about where the AC is.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like it, go back to your dorm room in college, kind of thing. I do think as boys turn into men, then when they come home, it's just hard to have several men in one house. And that's why the sooner they can get out, fly the coop, the nest, it's a good thing.
Do you feel like you were more lackadaisical with Taylor on the rules because you knew like eventually he would be on his own?
Yeah, probably. And also just being a guy, he was a big guy. I didn't worry about his safety. I thought if he had a flat tire on the side of the road, he could fix it. Nobody was going to mess with him.
Right.
Where a girl, you think, oh, do they know how to change a tire? Are they going to be susceptible to some creep driving up and messing with them? Those kind of things went through my mind with the girls, and it didn't run through my mind with him.
Yeah. So, what's one practical thing you could tell this mom for the next time she's preparing for all 4 of her boys to be home?
I try to be as flexible as possible and just realize that your little boys have grown into men. And that's a different dynamic in the household.
Yeah.
So you got to expect it's going to be different.
I think when Taylor got married and he came home, you're like, I'm just thankful for the time that I have with him.
Yes.
And so
100%.
You're like, you told me, you're like, I'm not as worried about the rules because, he was married at this point, but you're like, I'm just excited he's choosing to come home.
Yeah.
And he wants to come home.
Just focus on that. Yeah.
So, well, that's great.
That's right.
Trying to be flexible.
Yep. It's hard, but we got to do it.
Got to do it. Question 2. I'm desperately hoping you can help me with my 7-year-old son who is very, very, very blue. He's having such a hard time with losing and taking criticism and generally coping with challenging things. I know that this stems from his need for perfection, and personally, I relate to this because I'm a blue-red as well. He pouts and he feels ashamed at the simplest things like being asked to do a chore or if you correct him, even very gently, on a homework problem. Losing a game is a whole nother thing. It's honestly to the point where I can't play any games with him. He cries, whines, constantly talks about how horrible he is, and then resorts to getting upset whenever he is not good at anything else. I've tried to talk to him about his emotions and ways he can work through those in healthy ways, deep breathing, taking a walk, counting to 10, etc., but nothing seems to help. I've punished him when he's being disrespectful, and I've taken privileges away for things like games, screen time, etc. My mom thinks he needs more playtime with boys who call him out on that behavior, but I feel like his poor attitude is becoming a bad habit. I need advice on working on his attitude and helping him become more resilient to life's challenges.
Well, honestly, blues are very sensitive, and we have to just sort of deal with them very delicately. It was for me. It was challenging, and they can get very negative on themselves. They have that perfectionistic drive that's driving them all the time. And so whenever they're not measuring up, and as a child, it's hard to measure up all the time.
Yeah.
They just beat themselves up so hard. They have very high standards for themselves. So I think the best thing to do as a mom, she sounds like she's doing a lot of the right things.
Sounds like she's killing it.
Yeah. So I would just say continue to do, but those that aren't a blue, because she does say, I understand because I'm a blue as well, you just need to educate yourself on that blue temperament and realize what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. I would try to parent towards the strengths rather than focusing on the weaknesses all the time. And a lot of times as parents, we do focus on the weakness more. So I would just say, I love your sensitive heart. I love that you always are striving to do your best and striving for excellence. That's wonderful. But sweetie, realize that, perfection is a goal that you're never going to hit. So strive to do your best for sure. Strive for excellence always, but just know that it's never going to be perfect. Never. And until we get to heaven, it's never going to be perfect. So take that off of your agenda here, kind of thing. Also, educate him on his temperament. Let him know, like, hey, let's look at this together. Let's listen to this podcast together. There's a great resource book, A Grown-Up's Guide to Kids Wiring by Kathleen Edelman would be a great book. I was looking over here when you were reading the David Thomas book. I don't think it's in there, but we do have it. But it's
Raising Strong Boys?
It's Raising Emotionally Strong Boys, but we can look it up and put it in the show notes. We had him on the podcast and he did a whole thing, but on the emotions, she said she's trying to coach him through his emotions. David's got great tools that parents can read through and do with. They even he has a workbook that goes along with the book that will help the mom. So those are 2 great resources. But I would just say, I love your sensitive heart, but you have to push through the hard and get to the end. You can't just stop in the middle of it when it gets hard.
Yeah. She said something about him, was it pouting? She say that? Since Taylor was your blue and he's your perfectionist, did he tend to pout as well?
All the time. Do you not remember that?
Well, I mean, I do, but these moms don't.
Okay.
So like in that moment when Taylor was pouting, did you ignore it? Did you talk him through it? How did that work out with him?
I mean, with Taylor, I had to give him space to get through it.
Okay.
And then after a while, I would just be like, all right, time's up. Like you've had, an hour or whatever it was.
So not 10 minutes.
No, not with Taylor. But he would sit down in his room or sit in a corner for a long time just to really get it out, you know. And I'd just be like, all right, go have your time. But then I'd be like, all right, Taylor, it's time to re-engage and shape up. Like,
I probably don't remember it because I was in Emily La La Land for a lot of
that was a lovely place to be. So
it was.
Trust me, it wasn't a great place to be in Taylor's moodiness. I never enjoyed that. But anyways.
So what's one practical thing you could encourage this mom with this week?
I would just really pray and ask God for wisdom and patience. Wisdom to know how to parent your blue, and patience for you to hang in there with him because it's a hard thing.
It is hard.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along.
Yeah.
Question number 3. I love how the way this mom starts it.
Oh, Lordy.
Oh, Lordy, I need some help.
Yes.
We all do. Oh, Lordy, I need some help. My son, who is now 16, has been argumentative since age 2. I used to say this child will argue that the sky is not blue. Recently, he argues all the time. I mean, even if I try to do something nice, like make a sandwich for him, he will say I am babying him. If we ask him to do the simplest thing, he will argue. Then he will say, then forget to do what he's asked. He has had consequences for not completing chores on time, and we have taken his car away for days for his poor attitude. Please help. I feel like our relationship is full of fights.
Bless. All right. I don't mean this in a funny way because I know how frustrating the arguing can be, but some kids just love to argue. You're laughing because your husband would say
My
that. My
husband literally said, I said the sky is blue. He goes, it's actually not blue. It's a pigment of purple because our eyes cannot depict the color of blue. I'm like, for the love, babe, it's blue. It's okay. So that's why I'm laughing.
I know. As soon as you read that, I knew exactly why you were laughing. So honestly, they just love to argue. And so the best thing to do is just to pray that they get into a good college and go far, far away, whatever, and grow up. And maybe he'll become a lawyer and make a lot of money and take care of his mom and dad in their retirement age. I don't know. I'm just trying to make light of it because it is hard. And whenever a child is argumentative like that, it just gets exhausting. Like they just wear you down. So I would just try not to feed into the arguing. I don't think you are. It sounds like you are doing all the right things, but I would just try not to engage too much on the arguing. And sometimes whenever he says, that about the sandwich and you're babying him, I would just say, you know what, buddy? I don't want to argue about this. I was just trying to be kind. I was just making you a sandwich and I had to walk away. I mean, honestly, sometimes I think the best thing we can do as moms is just keep our mouth shut, smile, and walk away. And it's just hard. Kelsey used to say, why do you do that? Like, why do you get quiet? Because I would just like smile and then walk off. And she'd be, why do you do that? And I'm like, I felt like saying, because if I open my mouth, what's going to come out is not going to be kind or pleasant and you're not going to like it. So I would just be like, I'm just processing, and I just keep walking because if I opened my mouth, it wasn't going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how could you encourage this mom this week?
Once again, just ask God to give you wisdom and insight to handle your very bright son who is wise in his own eyes. There's a verse in, I think, Proverbs, do not be wise in your own eyes. And he is. And you know what? God will work that out of him. And it's going to take time.
It's going to take time.
It's going to take time.
But she sounds like she's doing a lot of
She's doing a great job. So hang in there, Mama. It's hard. And if she's been arguing with him since he's 2.
She's probably tired.
She's really tired. So let's just pray he gets in a great college and has an amazing life and comes back to visits, but hopefully will mature out of the argument.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
All right.
Last question.
Wow, that was fast.
I know. I
was
told you
fast.
this one was going to be
It's going to
fast.
be good, though. All right, question 4. If we're out at a store and I tell my son no to a toy or food, he loses his mind and starts to push me or poke me with an accusatory finger with ugly words. When is it important to address those ugly behaviors and fight the good fight? And when is it okay to just ignore the reactions and not feed it with more attention and prolong the tantrum?
I don't think it's ever okay to allow ugly words to be spoken to you as a mom. And I would shut that down. I would just say, hey, you don't talk to me like that. And I would punish him instantly. And I would make the punishment sort of severe. It sounds like he's a little bit older. He's not a toddler, so he knows better. And I would just say, you're not going to treat me that way. I deserve respect, and I deserve to be treated in a kind manner. And if you can't do that, then you will be punished. So I don't think, and I know it's going to prolong the fight and it's going to make it longer with the tantrum, but that's okay. You got to stop it. I just don't think that's okay. She deserves better than that. But I would also just let him know, like, when we go into the store, I'm not buying you anything. Like, set the scene before you ever even go in. Like, we're going to go in. I'm not buying you a toy. I'm not buying you candy. So don't even ask, buddy. And when you do go in and you don't buy the thing and he comes out, I would say, hey, I really appreciate you today. We went in, we got what I needed. You didn't ask for anything. You didn't pitch a fit. And I really appreciate that. It was very mature of you. And I love watching you grow into a young man. And I do think when we speak words of positivity over our children, we sort of cast a vision of what we want them to be. Like, I love your heart. I love the way you obeyed just then. That reinforces, oh, that feels good. I want to do that again with mom, kind of thing. But it's going to take some time to sort of break a bad habit. And but I would not allow, it's never okay in my mind.
Practically speaking, what can this mom do this week?
I would just set the environment before you go into it and let him know, like, hey, this is what to expect when we go in. So don't be counting on anything else. Yeah.
Stand firm.
Yeah. Stand firm.
You got this, Mama.
Yes.
You got it. Well, that's it for today.
That was fast.
That was fast, but great. Like boys, it was fast and furious. So it kind of fits the bill.
Amen. That's right. It sort of followed suit.
Yes. So, well, moms, thank you so much for joining us today, whether it was on podcast, YouTube, Spotify, or however you're joining us. We really appreciate it. Please don't ever hesitate to send in questions, because without questions, we can't do a podcast. So we would love to have your questions, to answer them, and to send those in, just send them to info@birdsonawire.moms.com. And if you have any questions or wondering what more is Birds on a Wire like, just visit us on the website at birdsonawire.moms.com. And just so you guys know, that the Wire Talk is just an arm of the ministry, and Birds on a Wire is here to equip and encourage moms like you. Every stage from newborn to grandparent, we are here for you. So thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because the more you like and subscribe to whatever platform you're listening to, it reaches more moms. And eventually, we want Birds on a Wire to be something you see and talk about at the grocery store to another mom. Did you see that podcast? Did you hear Karen? We love Karen, because who doesn't love Karen? And we want to spread Karen to the world. So thank you so much for joining us today. And we thoroughly and love talking to you guys every week. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.